From Storm Tracker 6, this is Forecast First, sponsored by Auto Owners Insurance. Simple human sense.
Good evening. We had a beautiful day today with temperatures right around average, perfect fall conditions across the board. Temperatures were in the 50s, area-wide 55 degrees.
It's down to the wire. Republican vice presidential nominee J.D. Vance and former Congresswoman Liz Cheney join me for Face the Nation.
From Storm Tracker 6, this is Forecast First, sponsored by Auto Owners Insurance. Simple human sense.
Good evening, everyone. We had a beautiful day today with plenty of sunshine. Temperatures were into the 50s, 55 degrees area-wide from Lansing into Howell, Howell into Jackson, and Jackson down into Coldwater. Overall, though, our temperatures are going to fall back down into the 40s for the remainder of the night. 40 degrees right now in Lansing and 39 degrees in Howell. Over the next 12 hours, we are going to continue to see clear skies. And as we head into the day on Sunday, plenty of sunshine again is in the forecast. All the details coming up in just a little bit. 6 News at 11 starts right now.
WLNS is here for you with 6 News at 11.
Michigan becomes the political center of the universe today as both presidential candidates make their case to the Great Lakes state. It's our top story at 11. Thanks for joining us. I'm Rachel Ramsey. Michigan is just one of 7 states that's likely to decide who becomes our next president. And that's why both candidates are focusing so much time and attention on the state.
It is my pleasure to welcome to this stage the next president of the United States, Kamala Harris.
Vice President Kamala Harris rallied alongside former First Lady Michelle Obama in Kalamazoo this afternoon, or as Obama called it Kamalazoo, and promised to make life better for Michigan and the nation if she wins.
We like hard work. Hard work is good work. Hard work is joyful work. And make no mistake, we will win.
And before the rally in Kalamazoo, Harris stopped at a doctor's office in Portage, where she met with doctors, nurses, and medical students to talk about the importance of reproductive rights. Harris sought the group's input, but also said she was concerned about an abortion ban in some states affecting women's health care more broadly, especially where clinic closures made it harder for people to find a place to get that care. And Michigan Democrats will continue to campaign across the Great Lakes state with 4 high-profile visits set for Monday. Vice President Harris, along with her vice presidential pick Tim Walz, will reunite at the University of Michigan in Ann Arbor. Walz's wife Gwen will also be in Michigan, where she'll be joined by First Lady Jill Biden. They'll be in Traverse City at 1 p.m. and then they'll stop at Bay City a few hours later. If we win Michigan, the whole deal is over. That's a quote from Donald Trump, who made his second stop in Michigan in the last 2 days. The former president spent last night in Traverse City and this afternoon in Novi. He told the crowd there that if Harris wins, she will, quote, destroy your country. So he encouraged supporters to vote early and told them he would protect the auto industry and said Michigan would fare much better under a Trump presidency.
I'm here today with a message of hope for all Americans. With your vote in this election, we will end inflation. And you know what? It's we, not me. We will stop the invasion of criminals into our country. And I will bring back the American dream for your children and for yourself.
And the Republicans at the top of the ticket are certainly not done with their attempts to win Michigan's electoral votes. The Trump campaign announcing that vice presidential candidate J.D. Vance will be in Saginaw on Tuesday. The Ohio senator will be at a place called Center Courts. The doors will open to the public at 9 a.m., although Vance isn't expected to speak until around noon. And Halloween is just around the corner, and so is Election Day with only 10 more days to go. In Lansing, early voting has begun, and while the adults were out voting for presidential candidates, the kids were able to cast their own ballots at the Souls to the Polls event this afternoon. Taryn Simmons was there and is here for you now on how city officials got kids involved.
Rachel, many of the souls I spoke to told me that this mock election for the kids was getting them ready to be a part of the real thing when they get older.
It makes me feel like my vote counts and it's important.
It was like really special to me because like
I'm only 10 and I'm voting.
Sisters Sunshine and Hudson Morgan McIntyre were two of many kids who got the chance to vote at the Souls to the Polls this afternoon.
Learn what you can now so you get older, you know what to do.
Although Harris and Trump were not on the kids' ballots, they got to vote for their favorite Halloween characters and for a proposal about sharing candy with kids who couldn't go out trick-or-treating. Something Hudson feels very strongly about.
I voted yes because I think that's unfair that you don't have like a costume or like a candy bag to go out trick-or-treating this year.
Lansing City Clerk Chris Swope says they had over 60 kid voters and over 400 adult voters at the Rio election office.
Voting is so important. It's essential to our democracy. So anything we can do to encourage both future voters and our current voters to participate, we want to do.
First-time voter Lila Swope says this election is very important to her.
I have a lot of family that can be affected by some of the policies that are being debated. Friends with a victim of the MSU shooting, and I think that discussing gun laws and safety around firearms is super important.
Swope says there were lines outside before voting even began this morning. And at another location, they had 300 voters. The event was from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. Rachel, back to you.
Thank you, Taryn. And we just got word from the Michigan Secretary of State that more than 145,000 Michiganders cast their ballots today. It just goes to show voting is playing an important part in the election because, as 6 News Washington correspondent Basil John reports, Michigan isn't the only state seeing a large number of Americans casting their ballots before November 5th.
With less than a dozen days left until Election Day, many Americans across the country have already cast their votes thanks to early voting.
Voters like the convenience of voting early.
So far, more than 20 million voters have cast their ballots. Michael McDonald with the University of Florida tells me more voters are taking advantage of it.
In state after state, once they adopt some form of early voting, you'll start seeing the numbers creep up from election cycle to election cycle.
McDonald says the big difference this year?
It appears Republicans have embraced in-person early voting. In past, the Democrats are the ones who tended to vote in large numbers that first day in-person early voting was offered.
With Republican officials urging supporters to embrace early voting, some states like North Carolina are seeing record turnout.
We will likely see a significant majority, if not 2/3, of all the ballots cast this year come before Election Day.
Catawba College political scientist Dr. Michael Bitzer says early voting is appealing for
folks who know who they're voting for up and down the ballot, want to go ahead and bank their ballot, be done with the election.
And Bitzer says the early voting numbers have skewed to older voters, and it keeps both campaigns on their toes.
It is really a fascinating dynamic for the campaigns themselves to have to deal with. Some of my voters have already banked their ballots. Who do I focus on next?
Reporting in Washington, I'm Basil John.
If you'd like to cast your ballot early and need to know where to go, or if you'd like to take a look at your ballot ahead of time so you can do some homework first, you can find out what you need to know online. We've got a link to all of that information on our election page, WLNS.com/vote.
From Storm Tracker 6, this is Weather First, sponsored by Auto Owners Insurance. Simple human sense.
Well, we saw a quiet start to the day today with a little bit of some chilly temperatures this morning, but we gradually warmed right up into the average range. I'll talk about that in just a little bit, but let's take a look at our Skyview Network Capital Cam time lapse. We see that sunshine shining right across the area with a little bit of some fair weather clouds this afternoon, but still a beautiful fall day nonetheless throughout the day. And we're already seeing some beautiful conditions for tonight as well. High temperatures today got into the 50s, right around average. We're seeing 55 degrees across the board into Jackson, Charlotte, Lansing, and even into Mason, where they all saw 55 degrees. Temperatures have fallen quite a bit as we see them into the 40s here in Lansing, but in some cold spots, we're already seeing the 30s, 39. Howell and even down in Adrian. And we're going to continue to see these temperatures fall back into the 30s for tonight. And we're also seeing this high pressure system slowly slide back into the area, providing us with those quiet conditions tonight and even into tomorrow. Like I mentioned, we're going to see the temperatures back into the 30s tonight with clear and cold conditions. A few spots could even see the upper 20s to low 30s. So it's going to be a chilling night tonight. And as we head into the day tomorrow, it's going to be a chilly start as we continue to see those temperatures slowly warming back into the 50s, but tomorrow we'll still see plenty of sunshine in the forecast, very similar to what we saw today. Heading into the next couple of days, we're going to still have beautiful conditions to see the foliage. Right now we're still seeing that peak color is still to the north and the Upper Peninsula is past peak. So I think this is going to be the last weekend that we have the chance to see some of these full fall colors, as we are going to continue to see an active weather week up ahead as we have warm temperatures that comes with some windy conditions for Tuesday and Wednesday, and even the chance for some rain showers moving in for Halloween. Let's track that all for you right now. We're going to see those temperatures slowly start to warm above average again. Average is right around 56 degrees for this time of year. We're well above average for Tuesday and Wednesday, back into the 70s, and that's going to come with some very gusty winds at times. But we're also going to track some cloudy conditions throughout the work week up ahead. As we head into Sunday morning, we see mostly sunny skies. Then after Sunday evening, clouds do begin to increase. And as we head into Monday, we could see a few peaks of sunshine here and there, but I think Monday is going to be mostly cloudy for the day. As we head into Tuesday, we could see maybe a few showers here or there, but I still think Tuesday is going to remain dry as well. It isn't until we head into Wednesday that we see those clouds increase, and as we head into Wednesday night into early Thursday morning, which is trick-or-treat time or Halloween, we're going to see this cold front move through, and that's going to bring some heavier rain showers for Thursday morning. But this quickly leaves the area right in time for trick-or-treat. It's just going to be a little bit wet for the ground, and the leaves on the ground could lead to some slick conditions. As we continue to see this rain system move in, we're going to continue to see winds gusting to 20, 30, 40, or even 50 miles an hour at times. That's going to continue from Tuesday into Wednesday, calming down by Thursday. Taking a look at our 6-day forecast, we're warming things up back into the 60s for Monday, back into the 70s for Tuesday and Wednesday, with a slight chance of rain showers Tuesday into Wednesday, but I think it's still going to remain dry, and we're going to see those scattered showers back into some of Thursday. But as we're heading back into the 6+6 day forecast, we're back into the 50s and 60s with a little bit of some rain showers in the forecast.
Well, thank you, Kelsey. And it has been about 24 hours since Israel launched an attack on Iran. So what happened? And what has happened since then? We'll catch you up on the latest from the Middle East. So stay tuned. 6 News at 11. We'll be right back.